welcome back to the competitive Sports Series.
The absolute carnage on this final lap. 5 red lights were in Miami. Can they regain that place?
I cannot believe my eyes.
Who comes out on top? Down the inside into Casio Triangle. This could end in disaster.
So Zach Miles taking the lead. It was an all-or-nothing approach for the TF10 team.
And this could be crucial for NBR.
A race to remember for Jeremy Gallagher.
And they are officially the champions of the season.
It does not get closer than that. What a race. What a season.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to Competitive Speed Series. Please bear with us while we are just trying to get the lobby settings correctly. I know there's a lot of people in the chats, both in and out, Nordic being one of them, complaining that it was just starting soon. It's starting soon because the race hadn't actually started, and usually people complain when we just waffle on about normal stuff. So we're going to just take a step back, and we're finally coming in with the right settings so everyone can be cool. But anyway, Ollie, welcome along. We are here for the Austrian Grand Prix, which has always proven to be an absolute stellar of a race.
Yeah. I mean, not everyone loves Sir Gareth. I think you and I may be the exception when it comes to this track. We've got 10 corners of frantic racing coming up after qualifying, and I'm very much looking forward to round 6 of the championship already, Gareth. I mean, this is the halfway point. It seems it's flown by, the championship, and it's still exciting, still great to watch, and hopefully tonight it will add to the already brilliant 5 races we've had so far this season.
It has been absolutely incredible, and an NLR rush out last time out. First and second, absolutely incredible from those two. Worked it to absolute perfection. Means that they throw themselves into P2, 12 points behind TF10, which is great to see from a neutral's perspective, because BRT is only a further point behind them.
Yeah, nothing in it really. If you look at looking at the standings, Gareth, it's 13 points splitting first to third. Then you got a little bit further back, ETA to 26 points off the top, but still, the top 4 teams are still in, aren't they, Gareth? And unfortunately, you've got everyone else. Then it's almost a 2-tier championship at the moment. But we've seen crazier things happen in this league in the past, so I'm sure we'll see some eventful things happening over the season and bring another team into the fight for the championship this season.
Let's head over to the track then, because they are on their way, and it's looking like maybe Simbarox 1 will be the first driver to set a lap time through this one. And yeah, not the best of season for the Williams driver at the moment. Plenty of improvements, but I think overall maybe the FRT, because FRT Raptors in there as well, maybe they can use this as a springboard through the rest of the season.
You'd hope, as Simbarox Run invalidates on the first corner, unfortunately, there. But it's you'd hope this half in the season. They've not had the best season. Obviously, they've got 23 points over the first 5 races. Never ideal to have a start like that, and it's almost, you can argue, maybe a reset at the halfway point after a mystery race last week at Imola. Hopefully this is a chance for them to push on now, but it really depends, especially at this circuit. It's busy. Corner cutting will be a big factor as well. Penalties will come into play, safety cars as well, so it could be a good chance for them to get a bit of luck on their side and push themselves up the table.
Definitely one to watch out for is newly crowned WOR console tier 1 champion, and that is TF10 Renz, who is in 9th place, who's absolutely thrown it into the last corner there, the Red Bull corner, as he only goes P4 out of the times that have been set, a 103.3. NLR Ryan throws a 103.2 there, which is a rather good lap time for him after last week's victory, as Azim goes quickest of all as the ET8 driver, 103.085 1:05. That is an incredible lap time to start, well, as bankers go.
Yeah, he's gone for 6 there, hasn't he, Gareth, for that first lap? And ahead by, well, just shy of 2/10 really, and that's a hell of a lap. Straight out of the block of the very first lap. Whether he can match that again, we'll have to wait and see. Again, a lot of drivers unfortunately had, because I think everyone was out in that first lap pretty much, and we've only had 9 drivers set times here. So I think a few guys have pushed the limits a little bit too much in the opening quali lap. So I think go back, reanalyze what went wrong, and try again very shortly. I'm sure it's a very quick lap. Just over a minute really at the circuit. 10 corners. That's all we've got here. So luckily they'll have enough time to get out quickly and get another lap set shortly, I'm sure.
We'll just try and see if anyone is on a lap. Is Ivan on a lap? Ivan is on a lap. Let's see them come down the fast start-finish race into 5th place for the Ferrari man. Alex Lofer, his teammate, down in 12th with 1:08. So that was very much a banker lap. BRT Silo 3rd. Good for the BRT team, and they desperately need it at the moment. BRT need a resurgence. Justin is very much a race pace driver. He's very much in there through that. But yeah, Silo showing what he's all about at the moment. I wonder if Alex Hofer is invalidated. So I don't think we've got anyone out on a lap at the moment. Maybe TF10 Dirk is just about to start one. A little bit of pressure on him. We mention it week in, week out, that the longer you leave it, the more pressure you get if you haven't got a banker. But some people like that pressure.
Some people do. Some people, I think we spoke about it last week, didn't we, where some people leave it to the very last moment, while others like to get it in early, as Dirk just about keeps that car in a straight line coming through turn 1 up the hill towards turn 3, and there's a debate whether turn 2 is actually a turn. I'm sure we can have that later on, Gareth, as he hits the hairpin and through the second DRS zone we have here in Austria, down the hill towards turn 4, one of the other big overtaking opportunities we have at the circuit. Still valid at the moment, his lap time, but goes a little bit wide and a bit of oversteer there. We'll see whether he can improve on the rest of the lap coming through the sector 2 and 3 now, Gareth.
Yeah, it's still a little bit to come through. Renz and Silo are probably the ones really to push Azim through this. We've seen really good stuff from Azim this season so far. As we'll ask you in the chat who you think is going to take pole position tonight, and whether it's going to be ETA, NLR, BRT, or another team that can throw it out there. Like Ryan's got in a good position at the moment. Dirk, though, throws themselves into 2nd place. That's a great way to start things off, as I think Ollie Hornby, your namesake, Ollie, unfortunately has invalidated and won't go any faster. Has TF10 Ren started a lap? We might as well go on board with the man that is flying at the moment wherever he races. If I can find him on my screen. There he is. Apologies, just trying to find him on the list of cars, a busy lobby. Yeah, like I said, a man who's well informed at the moment, Gareth, after his victory recently. Was it WR you mentioned? Yeah,
Gareth?
WR console tier 1. So he's of a high pedigree right now, Renz Thomason.
Exactly, yeah, and I'm sure he'll try and bring the confidence after the victory into tonight's race as he weaves through the last sector here, the double right-hander to finish lap. Currently in P8 with a 103.386. They'll be open to improving that coming around the final corner. Tricky corner, don't want to run too wide, keep the wheel inside the white line, across to the line, up into 5th. An improvement of just over a 10th there, but still no one able to break the 103.2. Justin literally on the limit of the 2s there, but no one able to challenge Azim just yet, Gareth.
Yeah, Azim's thrown a massive lap in there early doors, and you look at it, maybe we could see a breach of the 102s. It'll be absolutely incredible if that is the case, but we'll have to wait and see. Silo on a lap time now into sector 2. Still a little bit of time to find for the BRT man. His teammate's gone into 2nd place currently, He is unfortunately a little bit down on his lap time, which is not ideal. He'll be looking for the 103.08, and I think, yeah, he's not happy with his lap time. He has decided, enough's enough. I'm going into the pits. I've still got 9 minutes 40 of the session remaining, so he is not going any faster. OBR Nico then round the final corner. Power down very early, nearly loses out on the back end, but it's very, very good nonetheless. But still only managing 13th place for the time being for him, which he probably would have expected a little bit more through that. Ivan, are you on a lap time? You are slightly up on your lap, but let's see what you do on your middle sector split across the line. He's 1.5 seconds down, so he won't be improving.
No, I see. He went wide coming through turn 7 and 8 there. I think he's not pulling into the pits just yet. So he's going to go around again. It looks like Ivan P9, his teammate, all the way down 18th at the moment. Alex Loafer again 108.9. So a lot of time to improve in there. But Ivan going around again. It looks like he drifts the car into turn 1 to try and keep the car inside the white lines. Up the hill he goes. Let's see whether he can improve on his sector 1 time. Slightly down again, Gareth. I mean, the margins are nothing. Is 0.023 splitting those, and you can see by how close the grid is. Most of the drivers are in the 103.3s. That you could barely split the drivers on the grid at the moment. It's phenomenal how close they are, but that's the nature of such a small circuit with only 10 corners in a lap time, or just over a minute.
Muted.
Hello? Oh, I'm not sure what's happened there. But we'll continue on anyway. But yeah, Ren's on a lap. Let's see how that pans down.
Yeah, coming through the final 2 corners, he was slightly down in the first sector, Gareth, because he crosses the line. Up in the second, and the first man into the 103.1s. But again, still 400 off Azim here. But Azim also is up on his lap time as well, Gareth, as he comes through the final 2 corners. We'll stay aboard with our current pole sitter, come find the final 2 corners. Bashes through the final corner there. Can he improve the lap time? Yes, he can, with a 103.018. Can anybody match that? He's at least a tenth ahead of everyone else at the moment, Gareth. Where he finds a time, I do not know.
That is an absolute insane lap time from the ET8 driver. Evan there into 4th place for the NLR team, and BRT Silos on a lap time, and that must have been a little bit demoralising. A 103.0 there, well, 103.018, because I haven't seen a faster lap time on console than that in qualifying. So that is going to be very, very interesting to see if anyone can battle that. And I think Silo's going into the pits. They're not happy with the pace that they put out on that lap time. I think that's the second time they've done that. Who else is? Ryan's into the pit as well. This is incredible stuff. Everyone just seeming to throw themselves into the pits.
We've still got 5 minutes left in the session. Everyone seems to be coming in, unless you're Alex Lothar, who has finally improved on his lap time, guys. Great lap time, actually. 103.142, so taking 5 seconds off his previous time. I appreciate that may have been a banker lap, but he'll be happy with that, bumping up there, while his teammate Ivan down in 11th. So still a bit of work to do for Ivan, but Alex, I'm sure, will be happy with that lap and getting back into the top 5.
Over we are, Nico. Then on a lap time through, just about to finish the second sector. This could be an interesting one for the OVR driver. Currently down in 14th place, slightly up on his lap time. Not going to be improving on there. And we say it like it's such a bad thing, but they're only 0.2 of a second behind pole. 0.3 of a second, sorry.
Yeah, it's nothing really in the grand scheme of things. I'd argue at any other circuit it's not that much, but at this circuit it's enormous, isn't it? With how close it always is at this circuit. So 0.3, if you take that, race conditions maybe a different story, but in qualifying it's quite a significant chunk. So we'll see how that all pans out. I think, like I said, everyone's in the pits other than 4 drivers still out on circuit. But I'm sure we'll see a flurry of laps. Guys, new tyres on, tracks nicely bedded in. Whether we see anyone take a Zima off the top, we'll have to wait and see. Just over 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's the final throws now, and the first drivers for those final throws will be ET8 Paul and TF10 Dirk. And that will be an interesting way of, setting the final laps here in qualifying in Austria. Who will be able to come out on top. Currently, no one else has been able to challenge Azim. TF10 Renz is a 10th down on him, but it's all about, at the moment, what ET8 Paul can do in comparison to his teammate, because he is going to be the first one to set the final lap times.
Yeah, and he's up on his first sector, Gareth, as well, just shy of a 10th up there, straight lined pretty much from the exit of 1 all the way up the hill. And he goes down towards turn 4 here, as late as he can on the brakes. Tricky right-hander, downhill braking. Round 4, he goes towards 5 and 6. The track goes away from you here, trying to hold the inside as long as you can before drifting out wide onto the AstroTurf. And again, 0.140 coming through the second sector, down the hill, 2 corners to go. Can Paul match a teammate in Azim and match 1-2 potentially for ET8 here? Final corner to go, hops the curb, just slightly wide onto the curb, across the line. Second place for Paul is currently an ET8 1-2 here in qualifying with less than 2 minutes to go.
That's a great way to set it all up for ET8, as we'll go on board with Justin. I think he's going to be the first of the BRT drivers to come through. This is going to be interesting because BRT are kind of on the back foot. They lost the lead of the championship last time out, and now they're down in 7th and 8th in qualifying. Qualifying isn't all that at Austria. You can make moves, but you would want it to be a little bit calmer than this right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's tricky to overtake at the circuit. But again, safety cars could definitely play into it as Justin comes around the final corner. Where will he go? Second place pushes Paul down to 3rd. 103, and there Silo jumps up there as well. There's a BRT 2-3 at the moment.
That is good for BRT. Renz has yet to set a lap time. Azim has invalidated. They are going to have to do another installation lap if they want to be able to go further. They want to be able to go into the 102s, I think is the best way to describe it. Silo and Justin, though, won't be able to go any quicker. Will we see Azim push again? I think we are going to see Azim push again. So let's go on board with TF10 Renz for the time being. He's down in 5th place. I was expecting him to come, be first, second, by fighting away with Silo and Azim. He's a little bit down on that. Into turn 4 now. A little bit of pressure on Renz to perform now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, his teammate already retired from the session. We'll see whether he can improve some board with Alex. Lopez comes around the final corner, was faster in sector 2. We'll see whether he can improve on 7th. He takes pole out of nowhere. Alex Lofer with a 103.013. What can Renz do in all this? Key comes around the final corner. Can he take that off Alex? Crosses the line. And it's only third for Renz, Gareth, with a 103.028.
An invalidation from Azim again means he's not going to be on pole. Where is Nico? He's up slightly on his lap time. I don't think he's going to go any quicker. Anything for a little bit further up. Raptor there is going slow. Even is going slow as well, and into the pits. It's probably going to be Nico then to lap. No, Nico's. Is that qualifying over and done with? I think it is. Nico might be on a lap. He's pushed the absolute limits on the final corner. Are they going to go any further than 14th? It is. It's up into 10th for Nico. And that is qualifying over and done with. And Alex Lofer has absolutely stunned the grid there.
We did not see that coming. Obviously, he was, I think, up into P4 at one point in qualifying. We've seen him race. I think he was involved quite a bit at Bahrain, wasn't he, Gareth? In the antics at the front. But Alex Lofer, out of nowhere, takes pole for AMR. If I'm right in reading the teams, yeah. So that's a huge plus for them. Obviously, the team in P5. If you look at the standing, obviously the team that are sort of best of the rest are from the top four. But yeah, great result there, and didn't see that happening. Only. What's that, 5 thousandths ahead of Azim. And Azim will be disappointed, Gareth. There's a couple of laps there that he invalidated. Does that pressure then lead into him making mistakes in the race? We'll have to wait and see, because penalties will definitely be something to contend with when it comes to the race later on in the session.
Definitely will be. And what a lap there from Alex Lofer to claim pole position. Really, really happy with that one. For him, it's good, to see a different one up there. Alex Lofer from Azim then on the front row of the grid with Renz and BRT Silo on the second row. On the third row, we've got Justin and Paul. Then it's Raptor, Evan, Ivan, Nico, Dirk, Ryan, Verti, Dom, Simbarox, Zoidi, Paulos, MI Slash, Harrison, and Ollie Hornby to round out the qualifying there. Wow, what a qualifying. Justin with I don't want to say, but Justin with a little bit of a clutch qualifying there for BRT. He really needed that to be able to get that, to help BRT through, because there has been a little bit of a struggle with BRT at the moment. They're a little bit... I'm trying to think of the best word to describe it, unfortunately. Their qualifying hasn't been the best, and that's no disrespect to them. They just haven't performed over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I think they'll agree with you, Gareth. We've seen that in their race results. Obviously, they had a podium in round 4, but the previous win was in the first round. And quality does help a lot. Obviously, with it comes to a race. I appreciate it's more of a positional thing, really, especially at this circuit. So I think they'll be happier with that. But again, it's not a lot of work to do. The quality is a mere part of the race, and as we've seen already this season, the antics that can happen in these races. So we'll see whether BAT can push on and try and improve on their standings, and obviously when it comes to the race today now as well.
Let's just remind ourselves of the standings after 5 rounds here in Competitive Speed Series in what is proving to be a very, very tight season indeed. 214 points to the TF10 team. 12 points behind them is NLRs, which after their 1-2 last time out has done them an absolute worldie of a favour, I guess is the best way to describe it, to throw themselves all the way up there. BRT then 1 point further down there is, like we've already mentioned about them, but it's just not been their season so far. 13 further points down is ET8, and Azim has been absolutely wonderful in qualifying so far. And you know what? It's good to see 3 other teams fighting along. 4 teams for the win, really, which is 26 points, I think, between them, and with points all the way down to 15th place. It's really good, Ollie, isn't it? It's nice to see.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's brilliant to see. And when don't get me wrong, it's great to see a team run away with it in a sense that they're so good they can just smash it, smash the competition out the window. But when you've got a four-way fight as we currently have, it just adds to the magic, doesn't it? And you're on the edge of the seat till the very end, hopefully. Especially like I said, when points go down to 15th, those points in the final race potentially could mean the difference between a championship and second place. So it's brilliant to see how close the grid is ready. And 26 points is nothing. That's what's 26 points. That'll be was a third place points wise. So that's nothing really. When it comes down to it, and long may it continue. Great to have a few more teams involved, but I don't think you could with how competitive it is sometimes. So we'll see how tonight goes and see whether a different team can get a win tonight. Obviously, with Alex Lofer on pole, there could be a new team taking a win, but we'll have to wait and see with that, Gareth.
We will indeed. It's a similar protagonist elsewhere, though, as we look at the front row of the grid alongside Alex as ET8 and that's ET8 Azim, who looked like for so long, it looked like he was going to get pole. He was provisional pole for so long, and then he set that faster lap even still, and it looked like, yep, he's gonna do this. But Alex Lofer, 5,000ths of a second.
Yeah, on his last lap as well.
Which
Check if I had come out. We spoke about earlier. Some drivers thrive off the pressure of those moments, and it looks like Alex did, and came in clutch at the very right at the very final stroke here in qualifying. It was brilliant to see. But again, we've spoken about it before. Qualifying is one thing. The race is another. There's so many more variables that are thrown in when it comes to racing. Obviously, we've got you've got the other 21 drivers against you. You've got penalties. You've got safety cars. You've got your pit stops. Your teammates. There's so many other things that can change your race in an instant. So we'll see whether Alex can hold the front, or he's gonna have a I'm sure he'll have a battle. I can guarantee that. Whether he holds the lead, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see when racing hopefully begins shortly, Gareth.
Yeah, it shan't be long. I'm sure they're just setting up the positions, guys. So please bear with us a little bit longer while we get this one sorted. But the second row of the grid, Renz and Silo, going to be very, very tasty. TF10 versus BRT with the other TF10 driver down in 11th place. So the two BRTs up there, you can play. I don't want to say you can play games, but you can help each other out, and that is exactly what competitive speed series is about. It's about teamwork. It's little in the prize for being on your own. You want to be able to help your team and get your team as many points as possible.
Oh, look at last week, Gareth, where we saw with NLR how much being with a teammate helped help there. Dragging each other along and not allowing. I think it was, I can't remember who was involved at different points in the race, but they couldn't allow them through. And they played it perfectly, played the strategy perfectly well. And like you said, it's not an individual game, it's a team game. And it doesn't matter who wins, as long as your teammate wins, or yourself or your teammate wins, doesn't matter. It's a team game, the championship. So and they played it perfectly last week, NRL. I'm not so lucky this week, obviously, with qualifying so far. But we'll see how they get on in the race. And it looks like we've got sunshine in the background here in Austria. So it should be, like you said, a one-stop race for today's Grand Prix. But as we're in the Austrian hills, Gareth, we know rain can strike at any moment.
Yeah, the Styrian Hills in Austria, in Spielberg, can cause... It's got its own little microclimate, and it can be... Well, anything can happen. It's a 10-corner circuit then, and just over... Well, it is 36 laps. I can't say it's just over 36 laps because we're halfway. It's half race distance. But yeah, it's going to be incredible. 3 DRS zones, overtaking opportunities into 3, 4, and into turn 1 if you're lucky. But we have seen overtaking throughout, and through the outside of turn 6 and into 7. and plenty of battling to be had, and that is for certain. We are just waiting. The drivers are on the grid. They are waiting. We are waiting. And I suppose, just quickly, one last time to have a look at the standings, just to show the importance of TF10's lead at the moment. It is only 12 points from NLR, 13 points from BRT. ET8 are in there with Azim on the front row of the grid. Anything can happen. And you know, in F1, it inevitably does.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And things, we've seen some fantastic moments in these races. And like I said, anything can happen. You know, you can be leading the race with a healthy gap, and a safety car comes out of nowhere, and that just ruins your race and messes up the strategy and all sorts. So it wouldn't surprise me something like that happens this evening to add to the crazy nature we've had this season already in CSS, Gareth.
I do just want to cast your eyes on the wonderful sponsorship done by Byron here. It won't see it on your side, Ollie, but on my screen you'll see the sponsorship boards are all changed. So fair play. It is some wonderful work that he's managed to put in. So when the race starts, you'll be able to see it all the way through. So thank you to Byron for all the work and you know for the teams behind the scenes that are running competitive speed series to get it all sorted and everything. But race is nearly underway. Well, the race will be underway very, very shortly. In the chat, let us know who you think is going to take victory tonight. Ollie, I'm going to ask the same question to you. Actually, no, I'm not, because we are on track and ready to go pretty much. And we are on 5 lights here in Austria. And away we go. It is looking like a very, very good start from Alex Lofer. He's managed to keep ahead of Azim. Brenz in 3rd place, battling away from Silo. It's looking a little bit tight for those guys at the moment, but it's looking all good for Alex Lofer at the top.
Yeah, just about held the lead there. Silo tried to get Renz coming through turn 1. All the cars seem to get through. A bit of argy-bargy in the background coming through turn 3, as expected. 3 abreast in some ways. There's more movement further down the top 10, but the top 4 look to be where they... top 5 all staying where they are for now. Gareth and Alex just about holding the lead. But Azim breathing down his neck already, as you'd expect from the ET8 driver.
Only one car on the set of mediums. That's Verti in 9th place, the OVR driver, deciding to do something a little bit different. But everyone else on a set of hards here. Yeah, like you quite rightly mentioned, Azim is all over the back of the Ferrari of Alex Lofer. You can barely separate it by a piece of paper. Actually, you can barely separate any of the top 4. Alex Lofer has just managed to get a little bit of a gap there at the front, and the first lap is a 109.3, which is kind of standard for your first lap of the race. It's looking good though for Azim. A good exit from turn 1 as they look down now, looking a little bit of a dip down and then up into turn 2, and he goes alongside Azim into turn 3 and surely has the move done on Alex Lofer.
Renz follows through there. Can he get the power down as they come through down towards turn 4 here? Renz still has the inside there. Could Renz even get Azim into turn 4? No, he doesn't. Late on the brakes, and he should just about have Alex. He pushes him onto the rumble strip there and just about takes 2nd. Alex down to 3rd. Now he could be 4th. That's Silo around the outside of 6. Surely not. Yes, he does. Makes the move work, and that is Alex going from 1st to 4th in about 6 corners.
That is really unfortunate for Alex Lofer, but it just shows the quality that they managed to go side by side through turn 6, but also the quality of the overtake from the BRT Silo. It's not the first time I've seen him do that this week either. Ren's fastest man on the track, but that is probably to be changed throughout, as these guys are just going to go quicker and quicker as the race goes on.
Yeah, as you'd expect, as Renz then takes the lead off Azim with the DRS to Silo follow through. He just wheel up the inside there. Can he get the traction down on the inside through 3? They're side by side both. Only Silo will have DRS here. Can he? Oh, no, they both have got it. Late braking from Silo up the inside. They go. Azim trying to hang it around the outside here, but he can't hold P2. And that is BRT Silo in a second, but BRT working well and moving up the grid here, Gareth. Both members of the team up a couple of places each.
Yeah, Justin expertly dispatched of Alex Loafer as well into, well, both BRT drivers side by side coming through. It is looking very good from these drivers right now. Through the final corner for lap 3 they go, and TF10 Ren's looking a little bit comfortable there, but it looks like possibly FLT Raptor is going to move. No, he thinks better of it into turn 1. I think he was possibly a little bit too far back, but very racy in comparison to Alex right now.
Yeah, Alex, I think, is under a bit of pressure here. He's okay for now, is up ahead, almost 2 by 2 coming into turn 3. They are 2 by 2. Who's going to come out on top here? Silo now in the lead of this Grand Prix. Justin trying to get by as Silo goes very defensive. And then go 3 abreast into turn number 3. Oh, it's all getting very close as they come through turn 4. And that's Ren's taking the lead back off Silo. Justin now up into P3, so it's BRT 2-3, and there's front wing damage in the background from someone there, Gareth. I didn't see who it was. It could be Raptor, I think.
It's all kicking off. There is a bit of a break in the train. But ET8 Paul down in 10th place has got there's a little bit of a break there, and I wonder who is going into the pits. We're not sure who. It's someone's end plate that is gone. We'll have to wait and see whose it is, but it can be crucial end plate damage in this race. BRTs all over the back of TF10 Ren's, and this is the battle we kind of expected. This actually could help OVR Verti's race because of that break in the train. Silo then takes to the lead again from Ren's. Does Justin decide to do the same? He does, up the inside of Ren's, and Ren's is just tapped there by Azim, and Alex Loafer trying to get involved with some moves. There's a yellow flag in the background. We're not 100% sure what that is, but I think Silo and Justin have managed to get this worked out a little bit to perfection, as TF10 Ren's just can't find a way through, as Alex Loafer then takes a position from ETA Azim.
Yeah, it's all kicking off at the front. I didn't see what happened there, but there's a distinct gap now. Paul is dropped back as Alex someone's made a mistake there. I think that was Azim actually into the gravel at the exit of 6, and he's now down to 6th place. Raptor gets through there, and a small mistake has cost Azim a heap of time and a position in all that. As we've got a bit of a gap there between Verti and Paul. If you look at the mini-map, 2 distinct trains on circuit, but lap 6, we've had 5 laps of racing and it's been hectic already, Gareth. I've got plenty more of it, I'm sure.
Oh, this is going to be insane. Azim looks like he's got damage. He has got damage looking at that, as that's not ideal for Azim. And there's a change in the lead between the 2 BRT drivers, but Azim had a massive save at the exit of turn 6. I thought he was going to bin it, but he somehow managed to hold on to it back to the front runners, as somehow Ren's is trying to find a way through the double-decker bus of BRT in the lead, and somehow Justin holds it around the outside, and they are working an absolute dream, just like the NLR guys did last week. This is very, very good stuff from the BRT team right now, and I'm almost certain TF10 Ren's is going to be frustrated seeing that Kick Sauber bright, luminous green in front of them.
Yeah, he's pushing in round turn 9 there. Like you said, guys, they're putting the cars in the right place at the right time, and Ren's just can't get through at the moment with how they're positioning the cars coming through 3 and 4. Obviously, they're the main 2 overtaking opportunities, so he's going to have to try something different here to get by the 2 drivers. There we go. He's actually going to make it 3 abreast coming into turn number 3 there, but it looks like Silo puts a car in the right place. Justin, again, better traction on the outside, and they're boxing him in, Gareth. He's going to have to go up the very inside. The guys have put, look at it. It's almost like a NASCAR pit maneuver here, and they just about hold Ren's back. And the car, they're doing everything they need to get, everything I'd argue legally, but Ren just can't make his way through at the moment.
It just all have ended up in a gaggle of car. I think Alex Loafer made a mistake after trying to make a move on TF10 Ren's around the outside of turn 4, and then just held everyone back up, and I think that's just closed the gap a little bit. Paul is now 1.5 seconds behind this group, and it's just slowly bringing it all back into the swing of things. Raptor then all over the back of Evan in P5, and just there is Verti overtaking Azim as well. That's a nice camera shot looking through that. There's a little bit of contact there from Raptor into the back of the Mercedes, and poor Azim, he's going to have to get that front wing changed at his pit stop, but he's somehow managing to hold on for the time being.
Yeah, he's just trying to limit the damage to his race. Really, that front wing is really hurting him. Dropping down the order here, and look again. Renz could get through here. He can squeeze right to the inside, late on the brakes as he can, coming through 4. He may have just about got one of them. Silo may be able to hold off. He's pushing Justin through here. He'll have the outside for 6. Just squeezing him as much as they can. There's contact between the both of them. Alex almost goes into the back of the Aston Martin there. Yellow flags. Someone's made a mistake. I think that's Simple Rocks 1 who's in the gravel. But still, BRT holding the front 2 here.
BRT playing the game massively on lap 8 of 36. You know what? We're not even a third of the way through, and they are, well, doing what they can to make sure everything work their way. We are probably looking at pit stops between laps 16 to 19. So we'll have to see when it actually will all kick out. But this is really good stuff from TF10 Renz this time. Going to the outside of Silo into turn number 3. And surely, well, he's just going to get boxed in again. He really needs Alex Loafer to do a send as well. Maybe make it 4 wide into turn 4.
Yeah, that's what he needs. Again, he just can't get through, Gareth. The overspeed from Silo using the DRS on his teammate is just allowing him to stay ahead. And like I said, I think Alex needs to get Alex involved and somehow try and make it 4 wide. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't know how he's going to do it, or try and get them somewhere else. The position the cars perfectly. Maybe an undercut. We saw how powerful it was last week at Imola, and maybe that's what he's going to do.
BRT just doing what they need to do. Verti keeping up at the time being, but the train has come back together. Ollie Hornby has dropped a little bit. There's a little bit of a lag coming through there. Not 100% sure what's happened, but Simba Rocks 1 has pitted for a set of mediums. They are definitely doing something different, and there's a Mercedes off in the background there, and that's going to allow Raptor through and maybe make it a little bit easier. TF10 Renz, do they do anything into turn 3? There's just nothing they can do. It's literally a double-decker BRT bus.
Yeah, literally. If he gets through, I say that though, he's flown around Silo there. He actually has up into P2. He left them a little bit of time. I think they both overbroke coming into turn 3. Renka's a great exit out of 3 and flies past Silo, and he's now up in a second. How he keeps second is a very different question though, Gareth. Can he push for first? Obviously, he'll try and, ideally, if Alex can get involved now and try and get past Silo, that'll help Renz massively.
We'll have to see how it will pan out, but it's the first time the BRT duo have been, well, split in this one, which is, well, good for a neutral, I suppose, but not for if you're a BRT, if you're Tech or you're Joe Murphy in the chat watching, thinking, ooh, maybe I could have done better. No, neither of those drivers, well, Justin and Silo are doing a fantastic job. But here comes TF10 Renzen up the inside of Justin into turn 3. Justin's trying to hold as best he can. It's not working. Well, it has worked, very much so. Justin holds the lead, and BRT Silo has to respond, or otherwise TF10 Renz, the TF10 driver, is going to take the lead of this Grand Prix. Justin tries to hang it up the inside. It's going to be very tight, but I don't think there is going to be the grip there for Justin, and TF10 Renz takes the lead.
Great move on the outside of 4. Tried to squeeze him out, Justin, but just couldn't hold him back, and Renz takes the lead of the race now, finally, after, well, many laps behind the BRT teammates, and takes the lead now. And ideally, you'd have someone else, his teammate there, but his teammate is, where is he? Dirk is down in 15th place, so not ideal, but he has got a little bit of a gap here, 3/10 as he comes round the start, lap 12 here, but on that, sure, will come straight back down with how many DRS zones we have at this circuit, and Renz could lose the lead quite quickly here, and he could fall back to 3rd ever so quickly with how the overtaking goes here. He's going to defend into 3 though, Gareth. We'll see whether he can hold the lead into 4 here.
Yeah, the problem is you've touched on it. It's the double team act of BRT to the TF10 driver. As here I tell you what, Renz is doing a fantastic job up the inside this time of Justin, but I don't know if he's going to have the grip like Justin didn't have the grip last time around, and that is the case. And Silo just caught behind, unable to make a move, and the teamwork isn't going just too that well at the moment.
Yeah, not going. I mean, from a BRT point of view, they're having a great race so far. Both drivers in the top three. And Renz is obviously no teammate to be found, so not ideal for him. And the closest other team then is both who've got was that Harrison and Dom in 7th and 8th. They're not spoken much about them. They've sort of worked their way through the grid here, and could be a team to keep an eye on as we progress through this race, Gareth. They're catching up with the top drivers now.
Yeah, it's a load of cars going side by side up the hill, but we'll stay on board with the leaders as TF10 Rens hold the lead for the time being, as the two BRT drivers have to respond, and I don't know if they can do, as they come down into turn number 4, and both of them stay behind. They're going to have to do a combined effort of an attack. However, we are looking into the pit stop windows. It's knocking on the door of that soon, as we have had OVR Verti in the pits. They've gone for the complete opposite strategy of everyone else, and they are now hoping that their tyres will work for them in an undercut capacity, which it has done. We've seen numerous times in competitive speed series this season where the undercut is the preferred strategy, but then it goes away from them at the end of the race.
Yeah, exactly, and that could well happen to Verti here. We'll have to keep an eye on him down in 19th at the moment, so keep an eye on him later on as we progress through this race here, Gareth. As he even dropped down quite a bit. I think he may be out the game here, unfortunately, for him. I'll see if I can get him back in quickly, Gareth.
I think I've just seen him rejoin the session. Not 100% sure, but that's not ideal. After a strong start to the race, they were fighting away in the top 6. Not so much anymore. ET8 Paul there into 6th place, higher than his teammate. Well, it's a swap around because of the damage that Azim has got, which isn't ideal for them. Let's go back to the leaders, as neither of the BRT drivers were able to overtake Renz on that lap, and maybe they're saving a little bit of their ERS, maybe waiting to pounce on the TF10 driver.
Yeah, could well be. They're trying to. Well, the top 5 broken away, haven't they? Paul still 1.9 seconds off this lead group, and he is the lead ET8 driver. Azim still yet to pit in this race, but we'll get back on board with the front guys as Renz again tries to push. Yeah, he's lost the lead once again to Silo as they come down towards 4 for the 15th time here. Justin doesn't look to make a move there, and Renz takes the lead back of this race. Silo trying to move through 6. No, thinks better of it.
Yeah, Silo doing well. We've seen him make a move around the outside of turn 6. I think that's his preferred way if he's going to make a move, but at the moment he is happy just to stick with it and stay with the back end of Renz for the time being. The gap between Paul and Raptor has closed to 1.1, so the gap in the train will have changed slightly. As Nico and Evan, are there some pit stops happening, or is that someone going in? That's Azim finally going into the pit stop, and I wonder if there's going to be a front wing change. I will just quickly pop on board with that. Where is Azim? Is there a front wing being replaced? There isn't a front wing being replaced. That is nuts. He is going to hang it out with the damaged front wing. Fair play if he can hold it on, but I would be I would find it really difficult to hold on in this track with with that front wing end plate damage there, and a little bit of contact between BRT Silo and TF10 Renz. Renz getting to the apex quicker, and Silo was expecting him to go a little bit quicker, but it wasn't the case on that occasion. Lap 16, this should be, I think, when we start seeing some proper flurries of pit stops from 16, 17, 18.
Yeah, it's who blinks first, really, isn't it? In this top group, who feels confident enough to do a little bit more laps on their tide later on, or who's overworked them, as Nico gets a penalty there. And they're coming in thick and fast here. We've got 4 drivers now with penalties, as Raptor hasn't really had a sniff of the top three yet, but he's getting pretty close to Alex here. Just needs to claw them in a little bit more to try and get involved with this fight, and again, and more movement between the top three as we'd expect. Gareth, as Ren's just about holding off both the BRT drivers. Are they going to make it three wide? I think they are. Who's going to be the bravest on the brakes? The Aston's been squeezed in between the kit car there. A little bit of wheel banging, still more wheel bang between the three of them. And into sixth they go. That goes, Ren's goes from first to third in a corner, Gareth.
Yeah, that's what the BRT team, I'm certain Tech is probably going to tell me I'm right or wrong, but that's what the BRT team were waiting for through that. That is exactly, well, swamp the TF10 driver and get around, and that's what they have done on that occasion. Lap 17 of 36, 18, sorry, of 36. We're about the halfway point here in Austria, and now all of a sudden it's starting to look a little bit more like BRT trying to get that control on the race again. Again, they go a little bit defensive into turn 4, but there is nothing from it from TF10 Renz. He's not having it anymore. He wants position. He wants to be leading this race, and he splits them once again.
He does. And Alex flying through, trying to get hold of Raptor here. As that, yeah, he's still just about holding the lead there. Renz, Justin, and Silo trying the best to defend, but you know he's weaved his way through on this occasion. Yeah, how many more trick plays they have in the trick book, Gareth? The BRT boys, I'm sure they've got a couple more up their sleeve here to hold off our race race leader at the moment. In the background, though, Paul and Raptor fighting away. Paul managed to go. Oh, there's contact between Paul and Raptor. Raptor's been pushed into the pits there. I don't think that was what he wanted to go, but he's got no option but to fall into the pit there, Gareth.
Oh, goodness me, that is not ideal. And, well, Raptor having been forced to make a pit stop, whether he liked it or not. But let's go back to the leaders. BRT Justin going around the outside. Silo then trying to go around, follow on the outside. But Renz won't allow it, and the slipstream will work again. Justin pulls over to the right-hand side to cover up. Oh, he's going through the middle. There is just no way for TF10 Renz to get through there. A little bit of wiggle, maybe in frustration, as he just is. Well, if I was him, I would be frustrated with the kit cars because it's all I am seeing.
Yeah, I get very bored very quickly from seeing that green and black car in front wing. What does it say exactly? I can't see on my screen. Unleashed, that's it. Hashtag unleashed on the back of the wing, and that's a pit stop for our race leader Silo into the pits, Gareth.
TF10 Renz is probably wishing he was unleashed. Down the start-finish straight then. He goes with Justin as the race leader at the moment. Let's see how it will all pan down as they come through turn 1 up the hill now. There's kink to the left, which is turn 2. Will Renz try and take the lead, or will he just hold back for the time being? Here comes ET8 Paul. He decides to hold back as well. It could be a little bit of a double loss of position here for Justin, as Renz and Paul will both look to have a go down the hill. Here we go. Here's Renz takes the lead, and Justin holds off Paul. And everyone else, as suspected, will be going on to a set of mediums.
Yeah, that's standard here. I'm just keeping an eye on the pit stops here, Gareth, as Dom pitted early, 2 laps before Silo did, and he's managed to jump Silo and Raptor and Alex in all that. So Dom, not spoken too much about him, but he's one to keep an eye on after all these pit stops.
Oh, interesting. Yep, the undercut can work massively here as ET8 Paul decides to stay out and takes the lead of the Grand Prix. We will go on board with BRT Silo, who is being held up by Ollie Thornbury as they come round the final 2 corners. This is going to be absolutely massive. He's got to try and make the move sooner or later. Oh, goodness, it's so close. Is it going to have cost him positions? I don't think it has. He's filtered out just alongside, and there's the rest of the drivers that he was fighting away with, battling tooth and nail. Raptor is ahead of Renz and Justin, and I think Ryan is involved in this as well.
Guys, okay. I guess I was on board with Ollie there. Look at his rear wing. Cars flying past him, and Justin gets by him as well. This is a flurry of cars, almost an F2 car versus an F1 car. All those cars flying by, and Ollie's gone from the top 3 there down to 11 very, very quickly. And I think that could be and Ollie's off as well. Excuse me. He's got some screen time, Gareth, but that's not what he wanted, and unfortunately he's in the gravel trap.
It's not ideal as Raptor is holding Renz up, and it's allowed, I think, a little bit of a gap through it. BRT Silo has a 1.3 gap to AVE Dom in P3 now. Pits for Nico there. Paul is going long in this one. And I've seen many a time that the younger medium tyres really does work well here. Harrison retiring from the session, and that is unfortunate because both of the EVE drivers, both of the McLarens, were doing really well in this one.
Yeah, and I don't know how many times we've said it, Gareth, something could change things. And, like I said, points on the 15, it could really mean a difference, especially, for EV with where they are in the standings at the moment. So, yeah, never good to see a car retire early, but unfortunately, Harrison out of the Grand Prix.
Alex Loafer has caught up with Dom after overtaking BRT Silo, and that could be a little bit of gamemanship, I suppose, between Silo and Alex Loafer there. They thought, right, to catch up, we need to work together, use the DRS of each other, and then we'll resume battling later on, as TF10 Renz is the fastest man on the track. And for the first time this race, we have a EVE driver leading, and that's EVE Dom.
Yeah, he pitted early, and he's managed to take the lead here, but he's got a lot of cars flying, and they'll be flying up his inside. Alex goes up the inside. Can Silo follow through? Dom has been pushed out wide. Silo trying to get through as well, but Dom will have DRS. They might be 3 abreast here. They are 3 abreast, coming into 4. Who's going to make it out on top? It looks like it might be Silo on the inside, but Dom is pushing the Ferrari off here. And watch out for Renz on the inside. You have to go to the grass, loses time, and that could allow Justin up the inside. But the Ferrari holds Renz off there into 7. They go. Dom holds second place, but unfortunately loses the lead. And that was a frantic flurry of attempted overtakes and some winners and losers in that little battle there.
I honestly thought Justin was going to get front wing damage there, and that is. Hitting the back end of Renz, but thankfully it didn't come to that, and we're going to continue the battling. Evan now getting a 3-second time penalty through this as well. Unfortunately, Evan hasn't been able to get, from reading from the chat, recontrolled of his car. I wonder how long that's been. That is such a shame. As continuing again, Dom back end nearly stepping out with how much he's braking there. As TF10 Renz, Justin, Raptor, they're all getting involved in this. Up the inside goes Renz, but it's not enough. Evan takes control of the race again, and Silo and Renz continue their battle. Justin, I think, has got through. Alex Loafer down to 5th.
Yeah, he just caught at the wrong point, in the wrong time, Gareth. Then and Dom takes a lead back, another 3 wide coming to 4, and it's just a constant backwards and forwards between the top guys here. And it's great to see a new driver, almost a new driver into the chat, you could say, with Dom being involved with us now. Obviously, we've spoken about Silo, Ren, Justin, Alex, Raptor, Ryan there in the background as well, trying to get involved. Last week, obviously, in our win. But Paul, fastest man on circuit. Where is Paul? Down in 9th at the moment. And Azim down in 17th, Gareth, after the man who started in P2, really struggling at the moment.
We see Silo and Dom resume their battles. It's 2x2 at the moment. It's actually 2x2x2. It's some great overtaking and squabbling going on, and it surely isn't going to go 4 wide into turn 4. Thinks about it, but they side by side is with Renz and Silo, but somehow Silo keeps it and Renz in 3rd, and actually it hasn't changed positions really because Dom's still leading it.
Yeah, Dom lay on the brakes and held off both Renz and Silo there. I think they were squabbling, and Dom could fly on through turn 4 and holding the lead for now. But there is nothing in this guy. You can see how close the drivers are coming around the whole circuit. In fact, there's very little time to breathe here, and that's just us in the commentary box, let alone the drivers on circuit. So it's phenomenal racing, and may it long continue. Lap 26 of 36, 10 laps remaining of this Grand Prix, and it's Dom who leads at the moment, but he might lose that to Silo here.
Yeah, that's Silo does again, but the DRS activation points at such a funny place that it means that Silo won't have much chance of defending down into P4, but he's going to give it his best shot. So, here comes Renz having a look up the inside. So does Justin. It's a sandwich between them again. We've seen it so many times, and BRT and TF10 still battling away. Silo's he's got the inside this time. He's going to really race hard with Renz, and it's going to stay in the lead for the time being on lap 26 of 36. Just 11 laps remaining really on this one, and Silo and Renz and Justin resume their battle from before the pit stop phase.
Yeah, we had Dom getting involved with it all, trying to hold his own, and unfortunately with the way the DRS is, like Gareth said, it allowed them all three through. So they resumed their battle they've had for pretty much the whole race, really, and obviously Alex leading early on, as we'll see what they do. And obviously Renz flies up the inside of Silo there, and just Justin around. Watch out for Dom up the inside as well, late on the brakes. Oh, he lost the back end as well, and he drifts through turn 3 then, and he's up into third now. I don't think Justin expected that, but Justin on the inside here, late on the brakes from Dom, and down through 4 they go. Can he hang it around the outside? Dom being an absolute nuisance here. Alex trying to get through as well. He's been squeezed over the grass. Alex goes, he's going to have to hang it around the outside. There's contact between the Ferrari and the McLaren. Ryan tries to get through in the back but can't get through, and it's kicking off now. The elbows are coming out.
Elbows definitely coming out, and look at the man with actual, increased advantage of tyre life. The man in P8, all this squabbling has allowed him back into it. He's got some overtakes to make. He's got to get past TF10 Dirk first, as Verti picks up another 3-second time penalty. But ET8, we kind of thought may have been out of this. All of a sudden, Paul is showing his hand.
He is, yeah. We thought, he's gone far too long. The tyres going to be way at the back, but he is there. He's involved with this fight, but he's got quite a few cars to get by though. As I think Dom's going to be passed by Alex, and Ryan now gets through as well. As I'd say that though, Dom does a switch back on the Mercedes, but I don't think he's got the grip then. Ryan flies on through, and NRL, we've not spoken too much about this race, really, going after 1-2 last week, and Ryan flying the flag for the team and is in this fight, I'd argue.
Yeah, it's very good driving from Ryan at the moment, and the unfortunate, Evan not being able to get back in the race, I don't think, after fighting high. And look at that in the background, is that 3 wide going into turn 1? It's Paulos and Ivan struggling to get through, but somehow there was a bit of contact, but it somehow managed to sort itself out. Back to the leaders. Alex Lofer nearly lost the front 3, which could have been absolutely catastrophic if you weren't in that one of those in the top 3.
Yeah, it's surprising how much time you can really lose if you lose at DRS here in the race, and I almost lost it there, but was clawed it back. Here, Dirk and Paul side by side through 4, round 5 they go. You mentioned Paul earlier, he's working his way through the grid now, and that's him up to P7.
Simbarox 1 getting the fastest lap of the race, a 104.9, getting a 3-second time penalty to boot afterwards, but yeah, Paul doing a good job. Let's go back to the leaders, because TF10 Renz is all over the back of Justin, and this could be what we were seeing from the NLR guys last time out. Build a little bit of a gap into turn 1 and let Justin catch up, but I don't think it's going to work out of the 2 straights that they've got, like last week. And look at him, Renz is all over the back of Justin. He decides not to make the move, but this could allow Silo and Justin to box him in again down into turn 4.
Could well be as Paul dispatches of Dom. They're up into P6 now, so the ET8 driver working his way up the grid, but the top two stay the same. And they've got another 6.5 laps of defending to do, Gareth. And they'll get another win for the team. Not one since the first round. Could this be their chance once again? We'll have to wait and see. Still plenty more racing to come, I'm sure. But Silo has got half a second here. Is that tactical from the team, potentially? Or was that a mistake from Justin?
I think this is tactical again from BRT. Alex Loafer picking up a penalty. Oh no, that is heartbreaking for Alex Loafer. And he's now going to be maybe throwing a little less caution to the wind. I suppose you could say they've got an extra 2 warnings in the bank before picking up another penalty. But BRT definitely looking like they're trying to play a little bit of a defensive game to win this race. And boxing in Renz, Alex, and Ryan's in with a shout as well as ET8 Paul. No real breaks until Ivan in P9. Let's have a look at it as, again, BRT doing what they can to win this race.
Exactly, yeah, putting the cars in the right places and not allowing Renz through. You're going to have to... He has got by in the past, Gareth. We've seen it on multiple occasions. He can get through them. It's just you need to time it right with how long the race is left. He can't get by 2 of them at the same time. There's contact, and that is Justin into the wall. And that is that. I can't see with my camera angle. That's damage to the front wing. Rangers go into the back of Justin, and that could definitely... I think that might be a penalty at the end of the race, Gareth, but BRT have gone from 1st and 2nd to 1st and 7th.
Yeah, there is a lot of there's not a lot of wing on that right-hand side there. I couldn't really tell from the camera angle I had. All I saw was a Kick Sauber car go careering off to the left-hand side. That is so unlucky for Justin, who has performed really well in this race. Renz takes the lead of this Grand Prix, and BRT Silo has to pick himself up. There's 4, 5, 6 different drivers in the top, 6 different teams in the top 6.
There is, and Paul and Alex side by side through 7. No, they just about worked their way through there. Alex holds him off for now, but Renz obviously in the lead of this Grand Prix now. I don't think he's got damage to his car with the pace he's going at, but he's got 6/10 over Silo, and I'm sure after that, knowing he's lost his teammate here, Silo's going to be on a mission to try and win it for not only him, not only the team, but a teammate as well.
Getting past Justin. Justin is really struggling. I feel for Justin right now. That front wing is, worse than what Azim had got at the early part of this one. But my goodness me, the controversy has... continued, which is what a lot of people like to see in league racing. They like a little bit of controversy. They like a little bit of spicy drama. And right now, that is what we've got. Lap 33 of 36, and the action isn't finished yet.
Absolutely not. It's plenty more action was shown. We could well see another change for the lead, but Silo unfortunately hasn't got his teammate to help him. He's going to have to do it solo this time around. 4-10 split, 1st and 2nd. Alex there as well, but Alex has got a penalty. Paul now in net P3. That's Dom and Ryan side by side through turn 8 of all corners, and Dom's got through. Great move there by Dom. Ryan, I think, caught napping there. Wasn't expecting a move from the EVE driver, and he's now back up to P5, which will technically guess P4 with the penalty that Alex has got. But it's manic throughout the whole grid here. I think Ren should hold P1 coming through turn 3 here. Alex trying to defend from Paul. Could Paul get through here as the outsider gets the power down nicely? I think he's just about eking out the Ferrari. Who's going to be late on the brakes? Where will Silo be? That could cause more contact there between both the drivers. Alex trying to hold the inside through turn 4. Has he got it? No, he doesn't. That's Paul up to P3 now.
Having a look at just too many battles. Justin again. Dirk probably with the superior grip through turns. Oh, goodness me, through turn 6. Somehow Justin held on to it, and now holding up Tierra Paulos behind as Justin really struggling through this all at the moment. Ren's got a 0.7 second lead to Silo. It's looking a little bit ominous. Paul has, well, we're on the penultimate lap of the race, and Paul has a lot of work to do.
Yeah, if he wants to win this, it's going about past 2 drivers here. If Silo can sort of bring him along, it could maybe get the chance to take the win here into the braking zone of 3. They go. Big lock up by one of the drivers there. Paul gets very close to the back of that kit car. He's one that has to stare at the hashtag unleash this time around as they go down towards 4. Silo not really catching Ren's here. That gap isn't really coming down, and Paul not close enough to make a move unless Silo is just waiting until the final lap. He's got more ERS than the car in front, trying his best to claw in, but again, 4 tenths, 3 tenths put in the first and second driver.
Justin really struggling through turn 6, and Zawadi, nearly going through. That is very, very tight from Justin, and Zawadi's just got no grip. Zawadi's got no front wing, a left end plate either. Back to the leaders then. The final lap here in competitive speed series in Austria. And at the moment, Renz is taking victory on track. I'm sure there is going to be a steward's inquiry from the BRT team looking at the chat right now. But here is Silo. Silo will stay behind for the time being. Does Paul decide to go up the inside? He does. He flicks it up the inside of Silo, and that could cost Silo the race win. Here comes Paul then, side by side through it all. And surely, Silo trying to give it a little bit back. A little bit of elbows coming out here.
Oh, they're both weaving there. I think Paul's may have paused because he's ghosted. As I don't think Silo was expecting Paul to come out the inside. He was waiting for a battle with the front, with Renz there. Just couldn't make it work. Can he do anything into the final corner? We'll have to wait and see.
Now it is, at the moment they're going to be squabbling into the final corner, but I don't think there's any late dives. It's all about this man at the moment on track. It's TF10 Renz who's managed to win from BRT Silo and ET8 Paul in 3rd place, rounding out the podium. And wow, what a race that was. Some, I don't want to say crippled cars, but nearly crippled cars, and this is one of them. Justin finishing P9 in the end.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed with that, obviously, with everything that happened. Obviously, there might be a trip to the stewards for a couple of drivers. Then, I think Silo could have got that if Paul hadn't gone for the move up the inside. But Paul had every right to go for the move, but didn't obviously pay off in the end. And it'd be good. Obviously, ETA getting onto the podium is great for them, but it could have been so much more for quite a few of these teams. You feel, Gareth?
As we just wait for Azim to cross the line. And spin across it in some fashion there. Wow, what a way to end that Grand Prix. It was action through it all. Dom getting the driver of the day. But Ollie, for you, I'll give you a couple of minutes just to think about who you think for driver of the day as we see the podium celebrations here at Competitive Speed Series. And at the moment, it is a TF10 Ren's victory from Silo and Paul, but there's question marks over both Paul and TF10's race position because of some controversy which the chat are letting us know through it all. Zawadi Q did a really good job. Tropic said we'll have a look at the order in a very short moment. There it is on there. TF10 Ren's then taking victory from Silo and Paul rounding out the podium, but things might change. Dom, Ryan, Alex Loafer, Dirk, Zawadi Q, who did finish P8 in the end there. Justin in 9th, 10th to Ivan, Paulos in 11th, 12th to Raptor, Slash in 13th, 14th to Verti, and Nico in 15th, rounding out the point scoring position with Ollie, Thornbury and Azim and Simba Rocktorn rounding out the finishers, with Harrison and Evan, who wasn't able to get back into the car, unfortunately, disqualified or not finishing. Whew. That's done. That's been said. That's finally finished. How do we describe that one, Ollie? That was something.
To be expected, it is Austria. It's going to be intense. There's always going to be a lot of battling. There is very little space in the circuit. I'm not surprised with obviously a bit of controversy in that. It's unfortunate, we want to see all drivers finish well and no trips to stewards, but I think after tonight, it's going to be. But in fairness, it was a great race, great fighting throughout. BRT played it really well until the incident happened. And I think you mentioned driver of the day. For me, it's going to be Dom. Played the strategy well and came home in P4, P5. So pretty good job from him in the end there. But you give it to quite a few drivers, I think, on the grid.
Yeah, we will wait to see if there is anyone going to join us in the room, but we'll have to wait and see. As I'm just seeing it from Ren's, well, I will see it from Ren's point of view, but I won't show it on stream. But Ollie, great race. I know we've tried to round it a little bit, and we'll wait to see if anyone will come and join. But there was moments when the grid expanded away, and then they all came back together because of the squabbling up front.
Yeah, and that it was almost, it got extended out and brought back in, and when they're battling so hard, they're 2-3 abreast coming through turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, and even 6 at times. That just allowed everyone to get back involved, and it allowed the likes of Paul, who was almost down in P9 at one point, I think, with his pit stop, managed to get back into P3 in the end. It shows how quick he was, and how they changed so quickly for a lot of drivers. Ryan was up there, Dom was up there, and drivers that weren't there at the start were allowed to get back involved with all the squabbling that was happening. So, as great as for us, straight for the drivers, because they want to run away with it, really, almost like a quali session, just lap after lap after lap. But that can't happen in this league because they're also competitive.
Yeah, it's been some incredible racing there, and you know what? I don't think we're going to get anyone tonight, but wow, qualifying. We'll touch on that again because Alex Loeffel had, out of nowhere, claimed pole, but it just wasn't meant to be in the race. And the same with ET8 Azim. I don't even think he finished in the points in the end.
Didn't see in the end. I think, we questioned why he didn't make a front wing change. I think that was really crucial in why he fell down. I appreciate you lose, was it 5-6 seconds with the front wing change, maybe a little bit more than that. But being able to race properly and claw your way back to the grid, we saw the amount of squabbling and bringing people back into the race. That could easily have happened to Azim being brought back into the race. So, I think it was a mistake from him, and it obviously cost ETL. I mean, luckily Paul was up there on the podium, so that's helped out. But I think Azim's. I think he made a mistake there. I think he should have obviously got a front wing change, but we'll move on to round 7 next week.
We definitely will do. Well, thank you very much for watching, everyone that's joined in. I think it was an absolute incredible stream on that front. We had loads of viewers. But for now, from Ollie and I, thank you so much. Good night.